In a nondescript shed in an undisclosed location, potentially under the watchful eye of intelligence agencies, three lifelong friends bring to you a podcast of epic proportions. The world will never be the same. This is the Shed Sessions.
Hello and welcome again to the Shed Sessions, the podcast that's hard to steal when I done wrong. My name's Jesse. Welcome again, and since you should never go into the shed alone, got a couple of guys here with me. Nate and Treadwell, say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Ooh, so succinct today.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Oh man, that means Nate, you're Jinx.
Yeah.
Shoot, gotta reverse that somehow. So let's get right into today's episode. Last week we were talking about cemeteries, and we thought we'd go, what's past the cemetery? What's more than death? Total extinction.
Total death.
Total death. Extreme death of lots of different things. So you maybe immediately think of the dinosaurs that went extinct in a fiery blaze. But we thought we'd go a little bit further and look for it in different areas because lots of things have gone extinct over time, and it's not specific to living things.
Right.
Lots of things can go extinct, like places, things, words, people.
Pretty much anything, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, so we started looking at some of those things, and some into the dinosaurs and stuff. But so who wants to get us started?
I'll get started.
All right, Ryan, what you got?
I decided to go a little off with it, and I looked up some lost names, like last names.
Oh yeah.
And
Family lines,
if you will.
Uh-huh.
And it turns out that there's quite a few of them, and most of them happen to be lost due to war or immigration.
Uh-huh.
The name gets changed along the way, and
Right.
it just gets lost in time.
Yeah, like people who came from other Europe and countries early on
Right.
changed their names.
right? I know. My name was, at least the pronunciation was changed.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm sure there's still people with that name, but
With the similar original
right.
name,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's pretty much every name has been along the way gets changed. It's not the name that you have. Your last name isn't what you started with down
Right.
the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always thought it was cool how last names like Miller. You probably had an ancestor that wasn't Miller, or
Right.
or if Butcher, or if you have
Yeah,
names
exactly.
Mason or names
Yeah.
like that. Like
Yeah.
I've always thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah,
Smith,
maybe
you were a Smitty.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I mean? Something like that.
maybe in the beginning, they just based it on what you did because
Right.
that was the easy way to identify you.
Right,
It's
Nate
like-
the farmer. Now
Yeah.
you just drop the and you're now
Right.
Nate Farmer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then your line becomes after that farmer, but then it becomes Farmington,
Right,
right,
things
exactly.
like that.
And then you get named after a town.
Yeah, but then, like you're saying, eventually some names go the opposite way. And
Yeah,
they
just
die
totally
out.
get lost with time. And I found a few that are some names that have like less than 20 people to carry on that name. Swallow is one of them.
Really?
Villain, spelt Villin, or spelt Villan.
And do you really want your last name to be Villain?
No,
You probably
no,
changed it.
not
That's
really.
why.
Mr. Villain.
Miracle is one.
Oh, really? Miracle
There's
is
not
the
many,
last
not
name?
many people named Miracle out there anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine.
No.
Dunkworth.
Dunkworth.
It comes down from British.
Yeah.
That one's dying out very quickly.
Yeah, because of their
Nobody will marry anybody named Dunkworth.
Right.
well known for being dunked. Classic history back there.
Yes, absolutely. Berrycloth. I don't know if you ever met Joe Berrycloth up the way.
Yeah. Joe Berrycloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the last one, huh?
Yeah, grows berries. Tumblr's one, not to be confused with the website. Apparently.
Or the type of cup.
Yeah.
Or the type of cup.
Probably has an E in it
And
too.
Relish is another.
Relish, like
You-
like
Like the relish you eat.
Yeah.
That's spelled the same way.
Did you just look in the fridge and pick out names?
I did. Random. Miracle Whip is another one that's going out very quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I heard that. Joe Miracle Whip.
And
All
then
these guys named Joe.
Are they all named Joe?
Yeah.
Ralph Miracle Whip.
Jaime Ketchup.
Huntsworth. But there's some names that have been presumed to be extinct since 2011. Bread is one of them.
You did look in the fridge.
No, I swear to God. And come to find out that this line, a lot of the people that were in that line were named Sliced for some reason during that time. Yes, people named their kids Sliced Bread.
Sliced bread. Well, I
Back
would,
in the day.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if your last name was Teller, would you name your kid Bank?
I would probably name my kid Toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Toast
Spinster is one.
Yeah.
That's pretty much gone. You can't find many spinsters out there, apparently. And McKenna.
Oh, yeah?
M-A-C, big C-A-A.
No more McKenna's. Huh?
Right. I mean, there's probably McKenna's out there, but it's spelled different than this McKenna.
That spelling is gone.
And then there's a whole list of other
Yeah.
Oh,
ones.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
and when you think about it, isn't Hitler...
Hitler's probably one of the ones.
Going to be a dead name. It must be close to be. Yeah.
I can't imagine there's too many people that want to carry on that.
Yeah, they
last
probably
name.
didn't keep it. Like, wasn't there? There was
they
actually.
all agreed not to
Yeah.
have offspring.
Yeah, and there was
So that
there
the
was a
name would
Hitler
die.
that fought in, I want to say, the U.S. Navy
Oh yeah.
that fought for us in World War II. That was
Yeah.
like a cousin or something, and he had to like renounce a bunch of his stuff. And
Yeah. If I remember right,
I don't know the full story, but
they swore off having offspring so that they could let the name die. And
Yeah.
I think that's
Good.
still the case. So, unless any of them are still surviving,
Well, I mean,
then I
couldn't
don't
they
think
have
any of them
offspring
had
and
kids.
just
not really their fault.
change
though.
the name?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really your fault. You don't have to
Yeah.
Yeah.
not have
I mean,
children for it.
Call him like Hitter.
Hitter.
Hister.
Hitler.
Something. Yeah.
Isn't that what Nostradamus said? It was Hister.
Oh yeah,
Hister.
Hister. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Nostradamus.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of dead names out there. A lot of people that,
Uh-huh.
don't exist anymore
Yeah.
due to horrible things or just
And I'm sure
normal everyday things.
I'm sure there was times too where people just wiped out entire families. Where where
Oh
they
yeah,
just,
absolutely.
Yeah.
They, you go on to a farm and you kill grandpa,
Yeah.
son and
Yeah,
daughter,
well, I mean,
and all
and
the
a lot
kids,
of-
and there's no more line.
A lot of that happened in World War II, World War One.
Yeah,
where
they're four brothers.
there's-
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And also happens all the time in Game of Thrones.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, you can wipe a whole,
The reigns
whole
of
family out.
Castamere.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That kind of reminds me of what I was going to talk about. Unless you have something else.
No,
on,
that's about it for names.
I was looking into something similar, but this time it was based on a man's language. He's the last living survivor of his tribe in the Amazon. It was the Toshiro tribe. And this happens a lot in the Amazon. Like, a lot of bad things can happen to them pretty easy. They get
absolutely.
enslaved. They get killed by,
People
random bad people.
People just
Not-
cut
not
it
the-
down, and they have
yeah,
no place to
yeah,
live.
they just
Not
wipe
the-
it out.
Yeah, not to mention the jungle is just a rough
And
place
the
to
jungle
live.
living in.
There's
I
lots of
mean-
things in the jungle that kill you.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
immediately, 90% more, likely
Yeah.
to die.
By
just,
spider.
Just living there, yeah. So, this happened to this guy. It was like a village of like 1,000 people that were all speaking this Toshiro type of language, which is kind of like a Spanish. They figured, but
Portuguese,
it's still,
yeah.
Portuguese. It's not, but it's different enough to be its own language.
An offshoot.
Yeah, and this whole, string of bad things happened to this guy's village and his family. Like, everybody got sick, died, and until it was just his family. And then one last disease came through, and he was the last living person in his village, meaning that he has no one to speak his native language to.
Wow.
How
And
old is
so-
he?
He's about 70 now, and he spends a lot of his time all by himself, just depressed, reading, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't have anybody to talk to.
Well, the only thing that was translated into his language is like a couple of books of the Bible.
Yeah.
So, like, he really can't read anything else
Wow.
except for those couple of
What
books
a
of the
lonely
Bible.
existence that must
Yeah.
be.
Of course, he's learned, able to some another language,
I mean,
but
I'm sure
still,
he's got neighbors.
Yeah, but to have the feeling of carrying around the last relics of your people, that's pretty heavy.
It's a big burden.
Yeah, and he pretty much says he's just depressed and waiting for it all. Poor guy, but that's pretty rough. But that happens. It's happened before.
It happens all the time.
Languages fade out.
There's definitely entire nation states of people that have just been.
How many tribes are there in the Amazon that nobody even knows about?
Right, that came and went without us even knowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing with the animals. That's why they say 90% of all the species on Earth
have died,
are extinct.
Right.
That have ever walked the Earth or been on Earth are extinct because, and most of them we'll never know. Like they were never described by science. They were.
If we're lucky, we get a fossil of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There were prehistoric creatures that will never be realized. Because they're just fully gone.
Or they didn't fossilize well, or they died in the wrong place that was too acidic, so it ate their bones.
Yeah, for any number of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Amazon, though, one of the reasons that his tribe is probably dying is because they're literally just cutting the shit out of it. They're just they need some room for cattle, and they just chop it.
And really, they don't even ask them.
No,
they don't. They have no stake to the land.
They might as well not even be there.
Yeah, they'll just plow it down, whether they're standing there or not. And this happened a little slowly, though. A village of 1,000 people don't die overnight.
Right.
So, but he noted when they were talking to the missionaries that they were already starting to lose their language, and they lost some. He was not remembering words. They didn't have words for things anymore.
Right.
And so, they even stopped using names, really. Everybody would just be father, mother, brother, sister.
Well, that's what
It
happens.
kind of sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happens, too, when these missionaries come in and they start teaching them new languages, and then the next... If they're not, the next generation isn't taught the old language, then it's
Next
gone.
thing you know, it's gone.
There's a Dutch language that's not even translated, and so they are almost forced to go to English websites, English TV, so that language is almost completely being forgotten because no one's updated it into the modern world, and it's just being forgotten, which means that actual words and heritages are being forgotten, and Latin being completely gone now from.
Yeah, there's so many dead languages.
Yeah.
Tons of them.
And we still use a lot of Latin, but not in every day. And when we say stuff like modus operandi and stuff like that, like vice versa.
I mean, there's a lot of languages that they consider dead languages that people still speak. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's not spoken throughout any nation or anything like that. So that's why it's considered a dead language.
So if you get the chance, pick up a few phrases of Toshiro and keep Amadeo's language alive for him.
His name's Amadeo.
Amadeo Garcia.
Rock me, Amadeo.
Amadeo.
Rock me, Amadeo.
Garcia, I guess, because he couldn't think of another name to call him. So he just said, you know what, Garcia.
Throw another Garcia in there. We'll call it good.
Yeah.
I'm the last of my kind.
Yeah, so that's all I had about that. Nate, was there anything that
I was just thinking. I was just thinking about different. They say that the dinosaurs were killed by a giant meteor, right, and hit the Yucatan 65 million years ago. Actually, just a couple months ago, a meteor came in to our atmosphere and exploded not too far over Russia.
And nobody knew.
Yeah, exactly. They caught it on satellite pictures later on, but it was an extent of 130 to 73 kilotons of TNT, like 10 times the Hiroshima bomb.
That's huge.
And this was 5 years after one had exploded over central Russia.
Right, the Tuskegee, is that?
It was. Or
was that earlier?
It was the Chelyabinsk. Was in 2013, and then the Tunguska was in 1903. That's when you're thinking of. That's the one with the trees all laid down.
Yeah.
But why are these three events happening all over Russia? Are they attracting them somehow?
They're working on a high-powered
giant magnets,
asteroid magnet. Yeah, pointed at their enemies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, the pictures of that. the trees all laying down for 80 miles in every direction, like
because it exploded in the atmosphere rather than hitting the ground.
Right.
Right.
So I thought, and then I was thinking also of like a volcanic caldera. If Yellowstone blows, that's
super mega volcano.
Yeah, I mean, like we don't have any idea what will really happen when the sun gets blacked out for a few months or years or whatever it is.
It's happened a million times before.
Wasn't it Pompeii that completely disappeared under the
Santorini?
Yeah,
there's
volcano.
When the Santorini
and that's
volcano
actually
exploded.
What they think Atlantis was the island Santorini, which was a Thera back at the time.
Yeah.
It just got the whole island just blew to smithereens, and it just destroyed the Mediterranean in every direction.
You can see the caldera and everything. Like there's a little island in the middle. And
but I mean Yellowstone, you're talking so much more powerful than anything that they've seen so far. Like the amount of whatever magma is under there. Magma. It's scary. I mean, ask Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, it's building.
Yeah, he would know.
Or John Cusack.
Right. But they ain't kidding. And I also saw this cool thing. They brought woolly mammoth cells back to life.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was cool. And
they've been trying to bring the DNA together so that they can clone it.
Yeah, and they did it inside a mouse egg, right? So I was thinking, would it be like, what if they were like small little woolly mammoths? What's the market for those things? Like if you can bring it in, you get like a Chihuahua-sized woolly mammoth.
Take my money.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give you a blank check, bro.
Yeah. I'll take one right now.
How long before you got little tyrannosaurs running around?
Exactly. If we can find the DNA, because that's a lot older.
Yeah. Right. Jurassic Park.
That megafauna event that killed the mammoths and stuff like that. There was also some cool stuff there.
Well,
giant sloths and
that's debatable what happened there, right?
Yeah. Well, they asked Graham Hancock. He thinks that something hit in northern Canada, right? And then on the ice sheet,
the North American ice sheet. Yeah.
He's a smart dude.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one.
It's really interesting. Graham Hancock. Look him up.
Yeah, that's cool.
Graham. Foot penis.
A lot of the mammoths got stuck in the ice too, so that made their foot penises easier to find.
Right.
I mean, now I'm off
penises.
subject. Yeah.
In the Siberian outback.
Yeah. No, it also begs the question, should we? I mean, we all saw what happened in Jurassic Park.
Right.
Well, I think it's different if we're the reason that they're gone, or rather it was natural causes that took them.
Right.
If we're the reason, then why not bring them back? If we can repopulate them.
Uh-huh.
But if it's natural causes, then maybe we should probably
think that the first casualty of climate change, first extinction of climate change, because the sea level has gone up, and it's gone up a little bit, and it's gone up enough on the Bramble Cay in the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, that the melomys, it's like a rat, it's like a rodent, and the Bramble Cay melomys has been, they haven't been able to find one since about 2014, 2009. It was the last real sighting. In 2014, they thought they saw something.
Yeah, that coral too is going to go extinct. Because if you look at pictures of the coral reefs from 20-30 years ago, and then you look at pictures of the coral reefs now, they look like a wasteland of like dead.
You think that's because
creatures
of us?
I think a lot of it's because of us.
Yeah, it could be part of a sea.
I think it's the ocean rising, maybe.
Cycle, but
it's getting further away from the sun, so it can't grow as much.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, a lot of it. There's a lot of the coral reef is being eaten by an invasive. I don't know if it's invasive coral or invasive algae or what it is. But a lot of it's being eaten by that. That we have either put there or we've strengthened in some way. I forget what it is. Like.
Yep, unfortunate.
Fucking humans.
Yeah, I know. Lots of plastic.
We also lost the male white rhino.
Yeah.
Last year I think was 2018.
In the wild, right?
There's a couple of females left, which were his granddaughter and daughter, but they're thinking about making attempts to in vitro.
Yeah.
Man,
because they might be able to change the genes to make it male, right?
Right. They have to.
I hope they got all kinds of that shit before he died. He must have been one happy rhino.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's our fault, obviously. I mean, we didn't do it, but like colonization leads to a lot of extinction.
Right. We're a direct cause.
Right. Like 2,000 years ago, when people got to Madagascar, there were these elephant birds. They were like 9 or 10 feet tall. Like they looked like big bird. They had these giant legs, and they were 9 or 10 feet tall, 1,000 pounds, and they were just hunted to extinction. Hippos were on Madagascar, hunted to extinction. We really don't like big things. Like, look at
whales.
Like the elephants, whales, like anything that will like feed a lot of people, it seems, even though we don't, we don't always eat
Did these birds have huge peckers?
Probably.
Yes, the ancient large-peckered...
The ancient large-peckered elephant bird of Madagascar.
Blue whales are one of them that's going quick.
Yeah.
Largest mammal. And
it's a big boy.
He's just a big sweetie.
Yeah.
Another one with the Amazon being chopped down is wild coffee.
Oh yeah.
Like most wild coffee species are going extinct because their habitat is just being destroyed.
Decimated.
Yeah, harvesting.
Yeah.
And no one relies on that, so they just.
Where are you gonna get your cat piss coffee from now on?
Yeah, straight from
the cat.
Yeah.
I did find this place. It's called the Alliance for Zero Extinction. I thought that was pretty beefy.
I bet they got pretty cool shirts.
Yeah, exactly. Like, obviously they're just trying to, they call themselves AZE, and they've got AZE spots all over the globe that they watch. And basically just like forest reserves and stuff. But but yeah, I thought that was a pretty pretentious name.
Name. Yeah, it's got a certain ring to it. Sounds
beefy.
like maybe a kind of organization that you have a uniform.
right, yeah. I think you got a nice, like a beige. Yeah,
yeah, like little shoulder,
one of those
medallions,
small rimmed hats.
I've always wanted shoulder rope, like what I mean. Like,
yeah. I wanted some kind of crisscross thing across my chest.
Something you can stick bullets in.
Yeah.
Speaking of crisscross, remember crisscross?
Bandolier, yeah.
Speaking of extinct.
Yeah, speaking of extinct, yeah. Daddy Mac will make you
jump.
I used to. A couple days at school, I wore my clothes backwards like they did.
Inside out and backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I realized that was not cool.
It didn't
really hard to go pee.
Yeah. It didn't go over well.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think I saw you do it, and I was about to, but then I saw like no one really got a great reaction.
Yeah. Having the zipper in the back is definitely not a benefit.
No, not a time saver.
No.
But yeah, they actually think right now we are in the 6th major extinction. Obviously there was the dinosaur, and there was others before that. Where lots of other things died.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a what's called the background rate of extinctions, which is supposed to be like 1 to 5 species a year. And we are like sometimes we're missing dozens. Like scientists think, just like with the peoples in the Amazon and different tribes, there's so many animals that have come and gone that we've never been described.
Right.
Yep. For sure.
But 90% of primates are in trouble.
Does that include
invertebrates make up most of the animals on Earth. Really, insects and shit like that, coral, but they're in big trouble. Amphibians are in big trouble.
Well,
the
human population is in trouble for ourselves getting too big.
Right.
Well,
that's true too. Yeah.
You can only double and triple so many times before.
Yeah. I mean, what are we
going to run out of room?
What are we going to do when it gets extreme?
Starve.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Only the strong survive.
Well, starving's the big no-no you can do, where people actually go crazy and start civil wars and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Because starving's pretty serious.
Yeah.
So if it comes to that, watch out. It's going to be a violent world.
We're going to lock ourselves in the shed.
Yeah, lock ourselves right here in the shed.
I'll sow some wheat.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Sow your royal oats.
My royal oats.
Yeah. You can do whatever you want with those oats. Make, oatmeal.
Absolutely.
Make some bread. Right?
Yeah, if you want to.
Wheat bread. You know,
Oh.
if you got wheat oats.
Wheat oats. All right.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Well, to touch more on Atlantis, like you were talking about, I wanted to mention a few things. Some of the stuff that I was looking up about Atlantis, because it's always been a little back and forth about it, whether it was real or not. Right?
Plato's really screwing with people.
Because Plato messed it up with this, creating what happened later on was this false, maybe history, like a fiction that became fact.
Right.
Which is... has messed us up ever since. Like, no one is sure we'll take a full definitive side, but Plato came up with it in some of his works as this fictitious place, essentially, to represent some of his stories about the city and the state and things like that. And so he made it up being this attacker that was going to attack ancient Athens. And so they were these people that Athens totally ended up destroying, you know, making Athens, you know, the strongest state.
Beefier.
Yeah, strong. And so later on, though, people started whispering about whether or not Plato and Socrates had actually known of the place, because he talked about it a lot with Socrates. And then it maybe...
Socrates.
Yeah, Socrates. Exactly. And so they people started questioning if it was a real place or not. And... you know, forever
Whether
after that,
just
it
a state of mind.
Yeah, for it was just a place that Plato had come up with to create a.
Well, they think
bigger
now
story.
that it's, like we said, it's the island, like in the island of Thera and the Minoans, but
it's also been said it's in Bermuda.
Right, it's been said that
all over the world.
Right,
yeah, which makes it
it's under Antarctica.
To say, yeah, so, but early on, a cartographer, Abraham Ortelius. He's the guy who came up with Pangea.
Okay.
So he was
a smart
the first one to put it together. He was a cartographer, and he realized that, well, after I shaped these things back together, it looks like Atlantis doesn't fit here. So he's like, it's probably not possible. And he said that early on to try to
It's not impossible
deny.
to think, though, that a civilization with, you know, that's highly advanced and highly intelligent has come and gone without us really having any history of it. You know, because you know, just because we record history and things with the written word doesn't mean that's how everybody records history.
Right.
Shit gets scoured off the earth all the time.
Well, and we used to use things like chronograms and anagrams and things like that. You know, putting numbers in
Codexes,
text, codexes and stuff. So then that was just a normal way for them to keep information together. Like the years and stuff would be translated into the text,
and
so
if
that
they
you
didn't
could
mark it down on clay tablets, you know, you know, something that holds for thousands and thousands
papyrus.
of years. Right.
You got to fit a lot of stuff together there, you know, while you're chiseling that bastard. You know, you're like, I gotta, you know, save a lot of information. So they created these different ways. And
maybe we don't know how to read those.
Well, I mean, it was said that the Atlanteans had crystals that they stored
spirals,
energy and memory and stuff like that. And
and in
there's more going on with the geomagnetic stuff than we know. You know, like there's like this whole geomagnetic web around around the world that you know, just
it's
all
always around
all these
us.
Crazy ancient spots are on these geomagnetic hot spots, and
where they left
too
some
much
sort
of a
of impact
coincidence.
there. And Plato's story about Atlantis, though, after they were defeated by Athens, they lost favor with the gods, and they were swallowed down into the sea and lost forever. So I guess it's up to people forever. You know, what was it? A New World, I think, later on. The book was based on some of the ideas of looking for Atlantis.
Yeah, people are searching to this day for it.
Plato said some nice things about friendships and friends, and that's where we get the word platonic.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, it's, you know, it's nice to have a nice platonic relationship with you guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Today is National Curious Day.
National Be Curious Day?
National Be Curious Day.
Be More Curious Day?
That's every day for
Curiosity
us, right?
Day, sorry.
Curiosity Day.
Yes.
Nice. I think it was also Plato that said, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Gives you a good sense of empathy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so maybe that's where some of his nice vibes came from.
That Plato.
Yeah. I used to play with Plato.
You really mold him.
Yeah. You shape him around.
Put him through those little holes so he
dude,
becomes
he'd be
spaghetti.
Like, you can get him in pink, blue. Yeah. tasted like salt.
Yeah, it tasted a little funny. It tastes worse now than it did then.
Very salty.
Oh yeah, you've tasted it recently.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
still not great.
When you got a young kid.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't updated my Play-Doh flavor palette, so I'll have to check it out.
Play-Doh flavor of the week is pink Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Plink.
Ryan, did you have anything else? Extinction.
Yeah, I got a few extinct languages.
Oh yeah.
That I kind of wrote down that are not spoken anymore, except for like maybe a few people.
So
how do they know they exist then?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Akkadian is a language that was done. It was
Akkadian.
used by the ancient Mesopotamian people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was around 2800 BCE to 500 CE.
Mm-hmm. Common era.
Yeah, the Common Era. But it said that the Epic of Gilgamesh was written in Akkadian.
Oh yeah.
And it died out when the empire died out, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot like Sumerian. They use the same same letters.
Those cultures are fascinating too.
Yeah.
Like those are really early. I mean, we think of them as being early, but they're so advanced. Like so, they obviously came from cultures that were less advanced prior to them.
Right.
So that we have no, they say the Sumerians were the first ones with a written word. So obviously there's no written word, or at least
before that.
Right.
Before that.
So
yeah.
How did they advance so quick?
Right. They didn't just pop up and advance, or did they?
I'm gonna chisel this thing and call it
the Bible mentions the Tower of Babel, where languages started getting mixed up and stuff. There was large confusion going on because people were starting to use different languages, and different people were coming from different areas, and they were starting to not be able to understand each other anymore because their words meant different things. So it's crazy. Like, language is always evolving still to this day. Like all our English words are changing, and we're even losing some of those. Like
they put out new dictionaries where they take words out and put new words in every year or every couple years.
Yeah, like anyone that says "ain't's not a word," you throw that in their face. Yes, it is. It is now. Oxford says it is.
Yeah. And, like, even things like sounds disappear. Like, no one really knows dial tones anymore.
Right,
like,
true.
How many kids know what a dial tone sounds like? Or,
not many.
That even a little more, say, modern, the internet connection noise, or
right.
that,
I'm glad I don't hear that.
Well, you can kind of
anymore.
still get the same noise if you get a fax.
A fax, yeah. You can still maybe hear that with a fax. Yeah.
Just in case you need a little nostalgia.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, the only people that communicate via fax are like companies that have no other way to market.
Yeah.
So fax machines
sending the fax your way, man.
Are just full of like all these weird faxes for 30% off from like a flooring company you're never gonna use.
Right.
I worked in an office one time, and I would hate it when I had a stack of 20 pages that someone asked me to fax. I'd be like, you serious? Now I gotta stand next to that fax machine. 20 pages?
One at a time.
It's just gonna go, and I'm gonna be like, kill me now.
Cassette tapes. Those are pretty much extinct.
Yeah. VHS tapes. I don't think they even sell VHS tapes anymore. I don't think you can buy
they don't.
No, I don't believe they do.
You can take them back to Bull Moose, though, and they'll give you 1 cent for a VHS.
1 cent.
It's right around there.
Thank you very much, Bull Moose. Yeah, I've brought some books in before, and I've got this big box of books and movies, and they're like, $12.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Can I get store credit?
Yeah, because they give you more.
Yeah. Oh, so here's my books, and then I'll just take a few more books.
Yeah. Right? I'll bring those back in a few years.
And then I'll bring those back for like half of what I got them for this time.
Oh, man, books.
Yeah.
Old Norse is something that's not spoken.
Oh, yeah,
which is considered a dead language now.
Yeah.
Which was spoken by the Scandinavians, Iceland, Greenland, parts of Russia and France.
We still have maybe some of their words in the names of their
Viking language.
The names of their towns and
Volra.
And that was 700 CE to 1300 CE.
Mm-hmm.
So a little more recent.
Yeah, a little more recent.
Yeah.
Those were some hard times.
And their ruins are found all over the world.
Yeah. 700 to 1300. That's like the dark ages. And that's some hard living, man.
Yeah,
that's like 35
times.
is elderly at the time. Like that's some hard living.
Middle English is one that's pretty much dead.
You don't say.
You don't say.
That probably isn't Middle English.
The original Robin Hood was written in Middle English, and it was Robon Hode is how it was pronounced.
Robon Hode.
Middle English sounds like what the hobbits speak or something.
And that was from 1200 CE to 1470 CE that they use that the most.
Can you say that in Whale?
That's cool.
But, I mean, that's about it. I mean, there's all kinds of them going down. Aramaic is another one. Biblical Hebrew, which is pretty much the same as Aramaic.
But it's not used anymore.
But it's not used anymore.
Exactly. That actually brings me to words themselves that people have just gone out of fashion. And these, I looked up and I found this site that does an algorithm for words that are not found on the internet, but they do exist in the Oxford Dictionary.
Okay.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so these words still exist. They're not dead, but
they're just not used.
They're not found, used.
I mean, if they're not found on the internet, then they're not real.
Yeah, that's basically the point of the website, saying like these words, if they're not used, are not essentially existing anymore. But one of them, the first one was namelings, and this is the people with the same name as you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a word for it. A nameling. That's your nameling. Someone who shares your name.
Huh.
Yeah.
Kind of like a changeling.
It's not your family, but shares your name.
Yeah, just someone that shares your name. I guess you could go
first name too.
First name, or second. You would be even a stronger nameling.
Right.
But
that's kind of cool.
Another one.
Friggin' nameling, bro.
What do you think? You're my nameling?
I don't know you.
Another one was pewdify. Which is something that would cause you shame. So I'm not going to pewdify myself by, doing that.
Sounds like a gross word.
Yeah, it sounds like something you don't want to do to make yourself gross.
Like, I'm not going to pewdify.
One that I'm sure maybe never was that great of a word, but apparently it doesn't come up anymore, and that's brephophagus. And that is
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, it is someone who eats babies.
Like
our old pal Fat Bastard.
Or Alex Jones.
Get in my belly. Huh?
You brephophagus.
Alex Jones eats babies, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Who also was the Titan who swallowed Zeus. He ate all his
as
gods.
A baby?
What was his name? Shoot. Oh, well. Another one that I found was canitude. And this I thought was a cool word because it's that grayness outside before it snows. And I never knew that had a word before.
Canitude?
Canitude with a D.
Canitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Canitude.
And so it's that, or anytime maybe before it rains or, out before the snow, you look out in that grayness.
You say, man, that looks like snow.
Yeah. It's like there's a...
it's a steely look.
Yeah, there's a canitude over the air right now.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
We won't let that one die.
No, don't.
Okay?
No,
we're bringing it
back.
back.
Yeah, I am into
canitude, everybody.
Yeah. Another one that I saw was selennial, which is like millennial, annual, but it's just 1 year. It's just it's like
selennial.
Selennial. It's like annual's cousin. They both mean the same thing.
Right.
So like
it's kind of like semi-annual and biannual are the same thing, right?
Right. But annual won out the war to describe a year.
Yeah.
Selennial it also means that if you ever want to throw that out there.
Selennial.
Yeah. Another word that I had never heard before apparently isn't used, but it's called sigilism. And that is when a priest reveals the secrets of a confessional.
Oh, that's not nice.
No, but it's, of course, done in times of murder and, abuse and things like that. So it does have a term, sigilism, when a priest has to break his vows of confession. Now, I wonder why that one's not on the internet.
You would think that.
They probably have another word for it.
Maybe there's
a
different word for it. Yeah, and that
Most
was
likely.
originally how they spoke it, and I did not look up what.
And ways of speaking too.
Yeah.
Just like the way of speaking and writing. Like if you read something from the 1800s, it's written in a totally different.
Like Romeo and Juliet. All them.
Even further back. Yeah.
You try to read it, and it seems to you broken English,
right,
and it seems like the sentences are backwards and all kinds of stuff.
Is it smarter or is it like
smarter?
Yeah,
it's supposed to be more eloquent.
Yeah.
I think it's at the time was maybe a more the definition of the proper speech.
Right.
But now proper speech has changed, and we have so many accents and stuff. Even in America, we have so many accents. Like, who knows who's speaking the right way?
So many different
except
things.
people in Maine.
Right. We're speaking the right way.
Yeah, we speak properly, and then everyone else has an accent. So I mean that was it for the words that I had. So
interesting.
Yeah.
You got the best words.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like canitude.
Yeah, canitude's
yeah,
cool.
because I've also often enjoyed that.
Like also like that can-do attitude.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. So you get that can-do attitude.
Maybe it's even kind of cheery before it rains.
Yeah.
And you can pull it out and really annoy people every time it's about to snow.
Absolutely.
Hey, you guys noticing this canitude? I think it's gonna snow.
And then you have to explain it every time.
Dude, stop saying canitude.
Stop saying canitude.
You're not to have an attitude.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna beautify myself with this situation. All right, I got my nameling waiting for me, and we're gonna go hang out
and do some refrigerated stuff, or whatever that one is.
No.
You're gonna go eat some babies.
we got some baby eating.
Brephophagus.
Yeah. Well, if you
sounds like breakfast almost.
Yeah, and if you admit your brephophagism to a priest, then he will have to commit.
He will rat on you.
Yeah, he's not rat on you.
Right, that's what it's called now.
As long as that
I don't know what the word is now. It's called snitching.
As long as that priest knows that snitches get stitches.
Yeah. Oh, he knows.
Get in my belly.
That's another Austin Powers plug there.
Yeah.
Well,
it's friggin', what is it? Pop culture, man.
Yeah.
Can't get away from it.
Yeah, you get all that in this podcast. Little bits of pop culture references.
History,
drop in.
We don't like to limit ourselves.
Bombs. Yeah. Talking about everything. So we're not just geeks.
right? Or nerds.
or the rest of it. So
we're just a couple of curious guys. Three curious dudes, man.
Yeah.
You have to be more curious.
You do.
So unless you guys got anything else, we could call this a close.
I would like to say one thing about a death. Dan Blankenship from Oak Island.
Oh yeah.
He was a treasure hunter.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Recently passed away.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Like you said,
I know
that's
it's not.
the,
I know it's not the coroner's report.
No, that's okay. You said that that's the seventh guy, right? And they said that it's supposed to be some prophecy.
The legend is 7 must die before they'll be able to find the treasure. And
I hope they find something, man, because there's something. Either something was there. Maybe we can do a show on that sometime.
Yeah, I mean
someone like him is a dying breed.
It may start to be revealed.
He was an old dude, right?
Yeah, 95.
Yeah. So a lot of respect to also someone pretty curious in life, and he discovered actual treasure. And
he did,
and shit like that. That's cool.
He did what he wanted.
Yeah.
Danny Blankenship.
Yeah. Good luck searching for treasure or whatever's beyond.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It's been nice hanging with you.
Yeah, you too.
Good day.
Yeah.
Be more curious.
An afternoon session.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's it for now. This is the Shed Sessions, reminding you guys to be more curious.
See you later.
So long.
Eat more syrup.
Stay warm.
Yeah.